Greetings once again, Z-Fighters. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with Dragon Ball Super. Previously, it was the end of the superhero story. Gohan, having ascended to his new beast mode, fired off a special beam cannon at the artificial being Cell Max, who was being held in place by Piccolo in his new orange form. Avoiding the self-destruction of the creature, our heroes were victorious and picked up the pieces, as it were. Bulma even offering Dr. Hedo a job at Capsule Corp, as he wasn't so much evil as just misguided, with Gamma 1 acting as a bodyguard. They mourned the loss of Gamma 2 and celebrated Pan's new ability to fully control her flying. Meanwhile, Carmine managed to escape with a few soldiers. Back on Beerus' planet, Broly and Lemmo delighted in the conclusion of the fight against Goku and Vegeta, where Vegeta managed to overcome Goku in a battle without any transformation, with no one being any the wiser of what transpired on Earth. So the world has been saved, but elements of the Red Ribbon Army still exist. They've returned before. They could possibly return again. So what dangers still lurk out there for our hero? Join me as I find out, won't you? Oh, well, speaking of the Red Ribbon Army, we have Dragon Ball Super Chapter 101. Carmine and Soldier number 15, the two of which we see traveling in a red pharmaceutical vehicle. As number 15 drives, he tells Carmine President Magenta's funeral was kinda low-key considering how much of a big-shot tycoon he was. Carmine tells him the police might have come sniffing if it had been an elaborate affair. We can't have that. So yeah, Magenta's gone. Number 15 then questions Carmine, "Sir, the Red Ribbon Army is really finished, huh? The secret base got blown to bits and most of the troops are in the wind." Carmine looks away, telling him, "Yes, but the funds and resources remain." Number 15 then questions, "Hang on, you're not gonna bring the army back again, are you?" Carmine dismisses it, telling him, "It wouldn't do much good with those ferocious fighters waiting to pounce." Okay, so confirmation that they might not be back. Well, at least not now. Carmine slumps back in his seat, questioning, "What drives those accursed monsters? Oh, how they vex me." I love that terminology. Number 15 then asks, "So, it was King Piccolo and Son Gohan who took down Cell Max in the end?" Carmine tells him, "Well, we made ourselves scarce before Cell Max came to life, so we didn't witness his end with our own eye. But assuming it was those two who triggered his detonation, then we could safely say that so long as they live, the army cannot be revived." And that would lead into Dragon Ball Online, where the Red Ribbon Army comes back years after, most of Goku and his immediate family are gone. Their vehicle then comes to a screeching halt as they find themselves caught in a bit of traffic. Carmine questions, "What now? A car accident?" Number 15 then sees two beings fighting in the air as he asks, "What's that over there?" A man gets punched in the face, sending him bouncing off of the hood of a car, as two men holding bags watch on. A burly man gets angry, saying "Why I oughta," and he ends up rushing Trunks in his Saiyaman X1 garb, who has one man in a hold around his neck. Naturally, Trunks sees the strike coming, while Carmine gets out of his car, shocked by what he's seeing. As the pedestrian mentions, "I heard it was a bank robbers." The burly bank robber goes in to strike Trunks, but Trunks moves out of the way with the man still subdued. As the guy goes in for another strike, Trunks lifts the other man over his head, dodging the attack in the process. The burly man goes in for another one, but Trunks simply puts the other robber in the way so that he gets punched instead, with Trunks giving a cheeky oops. The burly robber is shocked by what he's done, as Trunks takes the opportunity to dip under the burly man, simply tap him in the chest, which sends the man flying high up into the sky, with the man panicking at what's going on. Carmine watches in shock. Meanwhile, the other two robbers pull out guns, shouting "Chew on this," while Trunks is just watching the other guy up in the sky. But once the two robbers fire, Trunks turns his attention to them, snatches their bullets out of midair, zips up behind them, and delivers two chops to the back of the neck, immediately taking them out. Trunks then turns his attention back to the big guy in the sky, plummeting as he screams, "Nothing but air! Help! Anyone!" Trunks then shows up mid-air right next to him in a sitting pose saying, "Robber dude, swear off crime forever, okay?" The robber says, "I swear it, I'm sorry. It's a straight and narrow life for me. Just help." Trunks gives him a stern look and questions, "And you'll clean up the mess you made in town?" The man says, "Yeah, sure." And before the man can hit the ground, Trunks peers under him, managing to hold him up standing his ground. Carmine, still watching, is taken aback when suddenly another man is sent flying out of the bank. Saiyaman X2, namely Goten, comes out with, 4 dudes? Or is it 5? Multiple dudes slumped over his shoulders as he calls out to Trunks, "I don't think there are any more robbers inside either." Trunks says, "What gives? Our first mission in forever and it's already over? They went down like wet noodles." As he drops the other robber he caught, Goten drops the robber saying, "It's too bad, huh?" And Trunks says, "Maybe we were too eager to kick butt after being away from the hero stuff for so long." Carmine says to number 15, "Do you see those two in action? What absurd strength. Could they be the solution?" Oh god, does he not recognize them? Oh right, they would have shown up after. Carmine didn't see them. Number 15 questions, huh? Meanwhile, we see Goten and Trunks actually being very responsible and helping to clean up while ordering the thugs to clean up their mess as well. Once the bank robbers are taken into police custody, the policeman salutes the two of them saying, "We'll take it from here. Always grateful for your help, Saiyaman X1 and X2. Trunks and Goten still holding the trash bags. Trunks says, "Well, after we haul this trash, should we head back to school?" Goten says, "Sounds good." Carmine then, very cordially approaches saying, "Might we have a little chat over a nice pizza, perhaps?" Taking both Goten and Trunks off guard, we then see them in full costume at Red Pizza. Oh god, does the Red Ribbon Army own even the pizza joints? Always lurking in the shadows, huh? Oh, they're enjoying a slice and a soda with Carmine and number 15. Trunks, mouthful of pizza, questions, "So, you want us to beat up some nasty bad guy, mister?" Carmine says, "Indeed. What do you say? I'll pay any price." Trunks says, "Don't need your money. Any thoughts, X2? Goten says, "It doesn't sound like a particularly heroic mission." Trunks tells him, "I'm thinking the same thing." Trunks sternly tells him, "Thing is, we help people who are in trouble." Carmine ponders this for a moment, and then gives a wry smile, saying, "No, of course, I see. You two must be scared of this foe." Ooh, this catches the attention of Goten and Trunks, as well as number 15 as well. Carmine then goes on to play these two like a fiddle. They wouldn't recognize Carmine either. Dang, that's actually kind of funny. As Carmine says, "You play the part of valiant heroes, but you won't dare face anyone out of your league, do I have that right?" In that instance, both Trunks and Goten snap, as Carmine goes even further saying, "Alas, even when this villain I speak of is a threat to all." As Goten pouts, Trunks slams his hands down on the table saying, "Listen here, mister. Nobody out there is a threat to us, and we don't run scared." But Carmine goes on saying, No, don't trouble yourselves. You're loath to risk your lives, I get it." God, Carmine. With Goten telling him, "I don't think you get just how amazing we are." They said to the fan base. Trunks then smacks the table saying, "Need us to prove it? Fine. Who's the evildoer we're dealing with?" Goten then takes a moment to throw up a peace sign to two schoolgirls trying to snap a picture, while Carmine whispers over to Trunks saying, "Rumor has it, he and his dastardly allies are plotting world domination." Trunks listening saying, "A major player, huh?" Carmine explains, "As major as they come, and this shadowy figure has shrewdly concealed his very existence." Ooh, how is this gonna go down? Trunks crosses his arms and thinks for a moment, and then says, "Maybe I should show off how awesome I am." Goten then says, "Huh? You mean am I?" Trunks says, "Yeah." Oh my god, as simple as that. Goten then says, We'll need them to film us in action then," and number 15 immediately pulls out a camera. Oh, this is so silly, but I kinda love it. Trunks thinks for a moment, and then stands up, slamming his hands on the table saying, "Alright, you've got yourself some heroes." Carmine says, "Great to hear, and you'll be well compensated once the foe is dealt with." Trunks telling him, "Like I said, keep your cash." And So silly. And so, Trunks and Goten get in the back of the car of Carmine and number 15, and they ride off to, I can only guess where. Meanwhile, back on Beerus's planet, we see Broly rushing in to face off against Vegeta. Rematch long in the making. Vegeta simply smiles at the charging Broly. He then leaps out of the way once Broly goes in for the strike, and then kicks Broly in the back of the head, sending Broly flying into the nearby pile of rock. As Vegeta comes to a landing, Broly bursts out of the rubble and starts firing several ki blasts at Vegeta. Vegeta, not dropping his smile, gets into a stance and manages to easily deflect all of Broly's blast, much to Broly's shock. With Broly taken off guard, Vegeta then appears right above Broly, and then kicks him right into the ground. Broly only just barely manages to soften his fall, clutching the ground. As Broly struggles, Vegeta then suddenly appears right behind him, putting his hand on Broly's shoulder, saying, "Are you ready to snap, Broly?" Broly turns and tries to take a swing at Vegeta, but Vegeta simply bounds backwards. But Broly rushes in, while Vegeta plants his feet. And as Broly goes in for a strike, he manages to nail Vegeta right in the forehead. Vegeta tanks the hit, gritting his teeth as blood spills from the impact zone of Broly's hit to his forehead. It was a pretty big target, let's say that much. But Vegeta then grins, taking Broly off guard. And as Vegeta sneers, he says, "Anger isn't a bad thing. Rage is the source of a Saiyan's power, in fact. However, your issue is that you lose yourself to it." And as Broly stands stunned, Vegeta then begins to power up into his Super Saiyan form, knocking Broly back. But Broly still manages to stand his ground. As Vegeta gets into his battle stance, he tells Broly, "Do not suppress your rage. Control it." Vegeta rushes forward as Broly gets on his guard. And as Vegeta goes in with several strikes, Broly does his best to ward them off. Only for Broly to be caught off guard by a punch right to his gut. It's obvious that Broly's rage is rising as he takes another swing at Vegeta, but Vegeta easily dodges it, not dropping his smile. Vegeta continues to dodge Broly's strikes as he questions, "What's the matter? Can you not wield your full might out of fear that you'll snap?" Meanwhile, as Broly and Vegeta spar, we see Lemmo getting some food ready that Chilai is already ready to take a taste of, while Goku sits down and Whis stands next to him as they watch the battle. Goku comments, "Broly looks like he's about to go nuts again. He's got to work on that." But Whis tells him, "Is that how it seems? No, he's changed a bit." And as Broly continues to go after Vegeta, Vegeta has found himself backed up to the massive tree on the planet. As Broly goes in on him, Vegeta then bounds off of it, and Broly, without him missing a beat, instead of crashing into the tree, bounds off of it as well, something that actually takes Vegeta a bit off guard. Vegeta then fires off a ki blast, something that Broly easily manages to deflect. Vegeta's not smiling anymore. Broly then headbutts Vegeta backwards. Vegeta then moves quickly out of Broly's field of vision, as Broly lands on the ground. In the forested area, Broly looks around, scoping out for Vegeta. We see Vegeta hiding behind a nearby tree, and Broly, seemingly having sensed him, lets off a ki blast, destroying the tree. As Vegeta moves out of the way, Broly fires off several ki blasts, but Vegeta uses the trees as cover as he speeds around. Once Vegeta makes a full circle around Broly, he gets in position and moves in. Broly sees it coming and he readies himself. The two exchange blows that they're both able to actually catch. It's actually pretty good. Pretty decent fight. Goku then shouts out excitedly, "Wow, he's really holding his own against Vegeta." Chilai and Lemmo then take notice and watch. As Broly and Vegeta leap back from their clash, getting into battle stances, Whis continues to smile, saying, "We've witnessed some growth at last, but the true training has only just begun," with Goku listening attentively. Meanwhile, Vegeta, he powers down, telling Broly, "To battle without losing yourself is an achievement, but you seem unable to unleash your true might. That won't do." Broly slumps down a bit, questioning, "What do I do then?" Vegeta just crosses his arms, saying, "Find the answer yourself." But Goku comes in, saying, "Maybe it's kind of like when we go Super Saiyan, that same feeling." Broly looks at him despondently, saying, "That's tricky." Enter Lemmo. handing out waters, saying, "Water for you," as he hands one to Goku and to Vegeta and to you. And he brings one to Broly, saying, "You too, Broly, drink up and hang in there." Aw, Lemo's such a good guy. Vegeta downs the water in the background. Broly takes the bottle, takes off the cap, takes a sip, chugs it down, all while Lemo smiles on. Broly then wipes his mouth, saying, "Thanks, Lemo." Meanwhile, Chilai gets a little tissy, saying, "It's like you boys don't have a care in the world. Frieza could show up at any minute. Then, what then? That new black form of his is no joke, right?" This causes everyone to pause, including Whis and Goku. And Goku takes a moment to think about that. He then tells Chilai, "Yeah, it's something else. I know he's a bad guy, but I'm still impressed that he went and trained that hard to surpass us." I mean, that is true. And Frieza actually had to really put in some work on that. Meanwhile, we see Beerus fishing down by the stream. You'd never think he was a god, but as Beerus gives a loud Goku looks over as he questions, "Got something to say, Lord Beerus?" Beerus tells him, "There's always going to be someone or something stronger than you, so keep plugging away with that training," he says as he downs a meat bun. He then tells Goku, "And once you're stronger than me, I'll nominate you as the next god of destruction." Goku frowns, saying, "Like I've told you, that job's not for me." But Beerus dismisses this, looking back saying, "Hey Whis, did I hear that Earth was on the brink again?" Whis smiles, saying, "Indeed. A fearsome beastie dubbed Cellmax emerged to threaten the planet." Beerus says, "You don't say. How'd they beat it?" Whis explains, "It was Goku's boy, Gohan, actually, along with Piccolo the Namekian. They led the triumphant charge against the monster." Beerus looks back, questioning, "Goku's son? This guy's a dad?" Goku's taken a little bit off guard by that. But Whis questions, "Do you mean to say that you've forgotten about Gohan?" Beerus really thinks hard about it and says, "Guess he didn't leave much of an impression. I mean, not when you last met him. Or, no, it should have been during the Tournament of Power." Like, oh man, you already forgot about him? Dang, that's cold. But once again, Fanboy Base says, well, Vegeta perks up, saying, "According to Bulma, Gohan might have surpassed even us in this particular battle." This catches Goku's interest as he says, "You mean it? I wish I could have been there. It must have been during me and Vegeta's duel, so we didn't sense his chi." Vegeta then laughs, saying, "Indeed, the duel which you lost to me." Oh, there it is. It took long enough, but of course there goes Vegeta gloating. And as Whis and Lemo chuckle to themselves, Goku actually sulks, questioning, "Highlight of your lifetime, huh?" Ooh, man. It's not often I see something get under Goku's skin in that way. That's actually pretty fun. We then cut back to Carmine 15, Goten, and Trunks. As Trunks in the back of the car yawns, saying, "What a trek. Are we there yet?" 15 tells him, "Getting close." Goten then comes to a realization as he peers out the window. He says, "Hey, I know this area." Trunks goes, "Huh?" Goten tells him, "We're near my brother's place." Trunks questions, "Oh, for real?" As the vehicle comes to a halt, Carmine questions, "Are we here? Is this a villain's lair?" Number 15 nervously says, "Sure is." Carmine then tells 15, "Excellent. Summon him out here for us, Soldier 15. 15 says nervously, "Do I gotta?" Meanwhile, Goten and Trunks are nervously trying to just, tell him, don't do this in the background. As Carmine tells 15, "Worry not. We have the Saiyaman X duo on our side." 15 says, but my last visit here didn't end so hot." Carmine dismisses him, saying, "You coward." As he gets out of the car, reaches into his coat pocket, pulls out a gun, and just starts taking shots at the house. Oh god. Oh, Carmine. Naturally, this sends Goten, Trunks, and number 15 into a panic. Oh man, I hope he didn't hit anyone. He mostly seems to have just hit the walls, none of the glass, so should be fine, hopefully. Naturally, Gohan comes racing out of the windows, questioning, "What's going on?" Carmine gives a smile, saying, "There you are, son Gohan." He then fires at Gohan. Gohan sees the blast coming, immediately just flicks all of the bullets out of the way, much to Carmine's shock. As Gohan shouts, "Hey, would you mind not doing that?" He then adjusts his glasses, going, And as he gets a good look at Carmine and 15, he says, "Aha! It's you people again! You're here to kidnap my pan a second time?" Carmine is taken aback as Gohan immediately grows angry, saying, "Not on my watch. Never again!" And he immediately goes beast. Not two, not mystic, immediately into beast mode, complete with the giant ass hair and everything. Yet another crater is created right next to Gohan's house. It's a little bit more controlled this time, but the display of power completely takes Carmine and 15 off guard, as well as Goten and Trunks, who are hiding in the back seat as they cower a bit. Goten thinks, "This is crazy," while Trunks thinks to himself, going beast mode like it's nothing. And it did take long for us to see how well he could just go into that powerful form. As Gohan crackles with energy, Carmine recoils, falling to the ground, and Goku, he senses that. He immediately gets up from the lunch he was having with Vegeta, who also has stood up, looking immediately in the direction of Earth. As Vegeta questions, "Kakarot, do you feel that?" I'm just thinking of the Dragon Ball abridged Boo bits where Goku's just like, "New strong guy just dropped." But Goku says, "Yeah, we know that, Chi." And as Gohan stomps towards Carmine opens the door of the car and tells Goten and Trunks, "Showtime, here's the target, please eliminate him." and Gohan is right up on him, grabs the door, rips it off the hinges as Carmine just falling to the floor over himself. But then Gohan notices something, going, "Huh?" And he sees Goten and Trunks, and they nervously, smile and wave at him, with Goten saying, "How's it going?" Gohan then is flabbergasted, questioning, "Goten? Trunks?" But Goten jumps in saying, "Whoa, no real names, you'll blow our secret identities." But Gohan, still pissed, questions, "Why are you with them?" The two of them then remove their helmets, with Goten nervously saying, while Trunks just nervously laughs. Gohan powers down, questioning with a stern look, "What's going on here? Explain now." And while Goten then proceeds to nervously explain, "You see, what happened is, suddenly, someone lands on the roof of the car nearby, with Gohan, Goten, and Trunks looking on shocked as they look up to see Goku." And as Gohan excitedly calls out to his dad, Goku, there's so many goes, gives him his signature pose and says, "Hey there, boys. It's been too long." You gotta love how Goku's family is only a priority when it means, strength. I gotta go check that out. It's also kind of funny, the fact that they were talking about Frieza and just how strong he got. Because Frieza, like Gohan, is just naturally powerful. It's actually kind of funny how Goku and Vegeta have to constantly work towards these new forms of power, whereas other characters, they just get rage boosts and stuff like that. And once they unlock it, bam! In it instantly. Though I have to wonder, has Gohan maybe been training a little bit here and there? Because he didn't struggle at all in order to get into his beast form, but then again, Dragon Ball also loves its comedy, so they went for the most comedic thing possible. And hey, even Broly too is naturally strong. That actually makes me wonder, will they try to see if Gohan will want to spar against Broly? That could be interesting. But man, what a breath of fresh air to finally be past the superhero storyline. To a certain degree, we're still kind of in it. It's just the aftermath of all of that, which isn't a bad thing in my opinion. I'm just excited to see what happens next. We're finally in the most uncharted territory of Dragon Ball. This right here is the closest to the end of Z that we've ever been. Again, and it makes sense that Goku would go back to Earth, just because we're nearing the point where we should have that tournament that Pan first entered. So maybe that's what we're leading up into. That could be actually pretty fun. But that would mean leading into Goku training Oob. And maybe the training with Broly is what causes Goku to want to maybe train Oob as well. Maybe they start just training a bunch of the characters, because we know that we've seen Goten and Trunks training with their dads a little bit. You know, we train Pan, we train Oob, we train Broly, maybe even get Gohan in some training. You never know. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What are you hoping to see in the future? And now we're still waiting on Dragon Ball Daima, which it's hard to say where that's ultimately going to take place in the great scheme of things. Are we going to see an adaptation of that in the Super manga as well? It's interesting. Over 100 chapters, and despite my misgivings on the Dragon Ball Super Superheroes adaptation, I like the lead-in into what's going on now, especially considering the little changes and nuances that they're now highlighting, namely Goten and Trunks being the Saiyamen. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. And until next time, thank you so much for watching. I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you later. Till then, bye-bye.